Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the eye injuries. So eye injuries means today I'm going to talk about some simple ways to protect your eyes from getting injured, because eye injuries can make a normal eye blind. So it becomes important for each one of us to protect our eyes from getting injured. So let's start. Normally, eye injuries can be eye injuries takes place mainly due to some chemicals or with some objects. Chemicals, when I talk about the chemicals, then these days most of us we use some sort of chemicals in our house. The chemicals may be battery acid, or chemicals may be some 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 kind of means whitener, or some it may be some kind of cleaner, or and so on. So this for everyone, these chemicals, by accidentally these chemicals may go into the eyes. So it becomes important for each one of us to see to it that these chemicals do not enter the eye. These chemicals, if it enters the eyes, then it may affect the ocular structures, and which may turn the eye to be a blind eye. Therefore, whenever any chemical enters into anyone's eye, then the first thing that which we have to do is to thoroughly wash our eyes with clean water. Then immediately we have to seek medical attention. Then following that, means after seeking the medical attention, definitely the doctor will prescribe some medicines, and if you apply those medicines regularly, then probably there will not be then probably the effect of the chemical injury may be reduced. Many a times what happens is, some means due to the battery bursting of the batteries, the acid of the batteries goes into the eyes. So after the burst, probably we can means we don't have we can't do anything for as a precaution. The only thing that we have to do is we have to go to the hospital for seeking the medical treatment. Similarly, in case of so in case of what called chemical injuries, in case of in pediatric children, the thing that we can do is we have to keep the chemicals away from the children, because the children do not know because the children may not know the ill effects of the chemicals. So in order to prevent the entry of the chemicals into the eyes of the young child, it's better to keep the chemicals aside, so that the children cannot reach up to those chemicals. And in adults who have to work with the chemicals, they have to be very careful, and if required they can use then there should be wearing the protective eyewears, so that the splash of the chemical acid or other chemicals do not enter the eyes. And for your general awareness, let me remind you once again that if by chance if any chemical goes into the eyes, then please remember that then immediately you have to clean the eyes thoroughly with clean water. Now the second thing is injury with the with objects. In so let's talk about in case of in case of young children. Generally in case of young children, they mostly gets injured with some pencils, or maybe with toys, or maybe with the toy guns, or maybe with the arrows. So the best way to to prevent this kind of injury is, firstly you have to make the child aware of the do's and don'ts of these things. For example, if the child is playing with some pointed objects, then firstly we have to make the child aware that the pointed object may the pointed objects, if it if it hits on the eye, then the eye may get damaged. And if they knows the do's and don'ts properly, then probably they will learn themselves to 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 uh, to to prevent the injuries. So, and many times what happens is, children, when they are playing with some bows and arrows, then they get injured with those bows and arrows, and after the injury, then then probably we guardians, we don't have anything much to do other than taking the child to the nearest hospital as soon as possible. So if the injury is if the injury is serious, then definitely we'll have to take the child to an eye hospital, and if required, then means surgery may be needed. So it is always better for everyone, that means instead of after the injury, instead of getting surgery, it is always better to protect it is always better to educate the child educate the child, that means after the injury, what may be the circumstance. If the child understands himself or herself, then definitely he or she will try to prevent the injury by himself or herself. So we before the child starts to play with any sharp objects or any pointed objects, then we have to always teach them the proper way how to handle that sharp or pointed objects. And if it is possible, then they should be playing under someone elderly's supervision, so that if if the child or if the children are doing some wrong thing, then the senior can point out their wrongdoings and stop the thing. And next thing is injury in road traffic accident. Road traffic accident means, suppose in case of two-wheelers, if there is a slight skidding of the two-wheeler also, then the eye may get injured. And this in case of two-wheelers, the eye injuries can mostly be avoided if and only if the two-wheeler rider wears full mask helmet. The full mask helmet, if anyone wears the full mask helmet, then the eye structures, then the injury to the eye structures can be minimized to a great extent. And in case anyone is driving at a four-wheeler, then then he or she should always put the seat belt, and along with the seat belt, while driving, wearing a plastic spectacle, wearing a eyewear of which is having plastic lenses is considered to be the best, because because if the eyewears are worn, then the flying object, flying particles will not will not be able to hit the eyes. So in case of in case of road traffic accident, we can minimize the eye injuries by obeying the traffic rules properly, obeying the traffic rules, and putting full mask helmets in case of two-wheeler riders, and in case of four wheelers, there should be always always follow they should always follow the traffic rules properly, and they should be always putting the seat belt, and along with the seat belt, it is always better that if they wears the eyewears which is the eyewears which has plastic lenses. Next thing is pressure cooker bursting of pressure cooker. Usually what happens is, in kitchen, usually the pressure cooker, whenever the pressure cooker bursts, then then mostly the woman, it is the woman who gets the injury, because in India, mostly almost maximum most of the cooking part is done by the females. So only pressure cooker burst injury is quite common in women. And if anyone gets injury due to a pressure cooker burst, then it's really very much, it is really very much dangerous, and it's quite fatal also, because in my experience also I have seen around some 3-4 patients who has got pressure cooker burst. And the effective way to prevent pressure cooker burst is to periodically check the safety valves, and it is my personal advice that whenever the pressure cooker is giving the whistle, then please don't stay close to the pressure cooker, because keeping distance from the whistling pressure cooker works well. Now the next type of injury is cracker injury. Cracker means cracker injuries are quite common in both in young children and as well as in adults. The best way to prevent cracker injury is by keeping distance from the bursting crackers, and means and if someone is not bursting the cracker, and someone during the time of Diwali, if someone throws cracker on him, then there is nothing what called, and if the cracker comes and bursts near the eye, then nothing we can do. So, but if we are not bursting cracker by ourselves, then the best way to prevent eye injury from cracker is by keeping distance from the bursting cracker. And young children, if they want to burst cracker, then there should be given some long stick means on which the cracker can be kept, and by holding the cracker on that stick, the child should be allowed to burst the cracker. Otherwise not, because cracker burst injuries are also quite fatal. If the crackers are bigger in size, then it can cause permanent blindness of the eyes. So these are the most common types of ocular injuries that usually happens happens to the common people, and these are these are very simplified, very simple ways to prevent ocular injuries. But after after maintaining after keeping the after keeping these measures also, sometimes our eyes may get injured, because we don't know. Means suppose we are walking on the road and suddenly some flying object comes and hits our eye, then we can't do anything. So the best, so overall what I want to say is wearing a eyewear prevents prevents the eyes from getting injured to a large extent. That's all for today. Please subscribe to my video and please like and share this video. Thank you.